But I want to go back to what you said, like why it's psychologically so advantageous to have a lot of female friends and go to places with them. But
Yeah,
first, I want to ask you, why do you think people have such a resistance to that idea? Not only people in the red pill community, but a lot of people don't think
yeah.
men and women can be friends.
Yeah. So the friendship thing about men and women can't be friends is generally from two feelings that men in general and women in general have. So women in general, they meet a guy and they're consistently offered sex, or they're consistently sexualized or in their mind objectified by men who don't know them. So from their standpoint, like I could be coming up and I'm just a cool, super cool guy. I'm not even attracted to her, and I have an animal rescue charity I want to invite her to next week. When I walk up to her, she doesn't know any of that. What she's used to is constantly being bombarded by creepy men on social media, dick pics, and being hit on by weirdos. And so because that's her reality, then when I go up and I'm like, hey, let's just be friends, or like, hey, what's up, homie? Do you want to come to this breast cancer awareness charity I got coming on next week? It's very difficult for her to believe that's what the reality is. There's a lot of my female friends. One of the reasons why I'm really good at making female friends is because I have enough abundance in my life sexually, like meaning like I'm dating my person or number of people to where I don't need any more validation from that. And so it's very easy for me to be friends with women. Whereas if a guy, like just imagine, I'm going to use an extreme example. Just imagine a guy is like a nurse. He's a male nurse and there's 50 other girls on his floor and he's the only man on his floor at the hospital that he works at, and like women are just throwing themselves at him constantly, and he's slept with like 7 or 8 of people that he's worked with before. That guy actually can be friends with women. I know a lot of people are having a hard time grasping what I'm saying. A guy who's, let's say, manages a nightclub, he's like a service manager and he manages all the cocktail servers, or like a manager at a strip club, and it's just like constantly he's in situations where there's 40 girls for every guy, and he's like, he can get all the sex he wants. He's got a super hot girlfriend. Other girls are chasing him. Guys in that level of abundance have no trouble being friends with women. Okay, guys, a guy who just did a 15-month deployment to Iraq and he comes back, he's going to have a hard time being friends with women. So it really, being friends, for men to be friends with women was more of a function of how much abundance is in their life. And from the female standpoint, women, I know a lot of women who would love to have some really cool guy friends, but they've gotten so used to the guy being friends so that later on he could try to smash. And so that's the reason why there's this pushback. Now, from the red pill community specifically, it's guys who have seen men being taken advantage of by women. But the reason why these men are being taken advantage of is because these men would shoot their shot. They would show intent. They would show interest to women who weren't interested in them. And then the woman would friend zone the guy back, meaning like decline, like actually lessen his status. He would get friend zoned. And when he's getting friend zoned, he doesn't realize he's being friend zoned because he's not calibrated enough. And then he starts doing things for the girl who's put him in the friend zone, and then at some point finds out that while he's doing all this work to be friends with her, she met a guy named Brock at a bar and fucked him the first night she met him. And now he's angry. So it's a resentment that he has from being put in the friend zone. And so that resentment spreads on the internet. And then, because other guys have had that experience. I've had that experience before when I was like 13, 14 years old. A girl put me in the friend zone. I didn't realize I was in the friend zone. We used to go to the skating rink back when I was 14 years old. And then this girl, then she starts dating some other guy. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, I brought all these quarters so we could play video games and eat corn dogs. That's where I was mentally. So as men, we've gone through this. And the reason why we've gone through it isn't because women are evil. It's because we as men don't have boundaries. We just don't have boundaries. We just see a fat ass and a smile. We see big boobs, green eyes, a pretty face, hip to waist ratio, and we just become idiots. So we don't have any boundaries, and so we let women friend zone us, and then the women then hurt us later on. We actually hurt ourselves. It's our fault for putting ourselves in that situation, and then that's why there's this belief, this overall incorrect belief that men and women can't be friends. Some of the guys that I know that are the most staunch men and women can't be friends people, and I'll just bring up 2 that I've been friends with for like the last 5 years, Myron and Rollo. Myron and Rollo were very staunch men and women can't be friends people. If you go on Fresh and Fit, there's a girl there named Icy who she does some of the she does the recruiting, and we love Icy. Like if you were to ask Rollo Tomasi, if somebody put their hands on Icy, would you beat the shit out of him? Rollo would say yes. If you ask Myron, somebody put their hands on Icy, would you be? Yes. That is a friend. Nobody's sleeping with Icy. She's our friend. And so it's funny because some of the guys who were saying the same thing with Rolo. Rolo has a shit ton of female friends, like a ton. The thing is, in his mind, he didn't see it that way because I pointed it out to him. I was like, Rolo, that girl right there, you hang out with her. Do you want to sleep with her? He goes like, no, I would never sleep with her. I was like, that's your friend. That girl's not trying to, you know what I'm saying? And so girls would come on the show. Rolo wasn't attracted to him, but he'd have like these super interesting conversations with them. Different content creators. And then I would be like, Rolo, do you want to sleep with that girl? He's like, well, I'm married. And it's like, no, I'm not interested in sleeping with her. I was like, then that's your friend, bro. And so a lot of times these guys don't recognize, because they're not actively pursuing female friends, that they have female friends. And so the thing is, that's the reason why people have a hard time with it. Here's why it's so incredibly effective. Man, there's so much data on this. If there's anything in the world, if anybody's watching this, if there's anything in the world I want to debate more than anything, it's the guys who don't think, number one, men and women should be friends, or don't think that men should be taking pictures with attractive women to attract more women. Anyone who doesn't agree with those two statements, please message me. I want to debate you. Make sure you do a lot of work, a lot of research, because you're going to get embarrassed, okay? These are just undeniable facts at this point. Texas Tech University, Oklahoma State, the Royal Society, Southwest University, there's several studies that show that women find men more attractive when other women choose them. And this is the kicker. Ready? Here's the hard one. A lot of people can't deal with this one. When women know that you're not sleeping with those women, like, so there's a experiment they do where a man, he shows that he's married. So married versus unmarried, do women find that man more attractive? And women do find him more attractive when they find out he's married. But then they compare that to the guy who takes pictures with 4 girls, but you know he's not sleeping with those 4 girls. The guy who's in the picture with 4 girls is actually more attractive than the married guy. So when women see you with other women and they don't know whether or not you're sleeping with them, you still get that attraction bonus. This is real hard for a lot of dating coaches and pickup guys to grasp, this concept of mate choice copying in humans. And so the data shows that. Here's the other one. That really blows people's mind, and I'm gonna get, eventually someone's gonna hear me say this, and I'm gonna get in deep shit for this, because at first it's like it sounds innocuous, but when you really think about it, how dangerous this could be, it's gonna get me in trouble. There's data that shows that men who show that other women are attracted to them attract younger women and women with lower body counts, meaning there's specifically studies that go over sociosexuality. Look these words up. Don't take my word on any of this. Sociosexual women versus restrictive women. Sociosexual are women who are promiscuous. Restrictive women, women who are less promiscuous, are actually more likely to be attracted to the guy who shows features of other women being attracted to him. Meaning mate choice copying is actually more prevalent with women with lower body counts. This is conclusive at this point. And of course, evolutionarily, it's a very easy explanation. It's because these women have less experience. And because they have less experience, they're going to look to other women for their experience to say which guy they should choose. Does that make sense? And so
it's in the name,
now
right? What you
find, right, exactly. So what I said was, women find you attractive even if they don't know you're sleeping with them. Those sound like female friends to me. That sounds like female friends. So now what I do is I teach guys to roll out with 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 girls whenever they go out. They friend zone all of them, and then two things will start to happen. So let's just say, you live in Los Angeles and you go to Rasputin, or you go to whatever, the Nice Guy, or you go to Delilah, or whatever bar. You go to Catch, and you have like 9 girls with you. You walk in with the 9 girls. 2 things are going to happen. Number one, all the other girls are going to look at this dude with 9 girls. And they're going to be like, yo, what is going on here? I need to know who this guy is. So you're going to have women coming up with already a curiosity about you. Curiosity is just one molecule away from attraction. So there's a curiosity. Who is this guy who just walked in with 9 girls? Every year on my birthday, I have a party at different nightclub, and this year for my birthday, I'll probably have 40 or 50 girls with me, and I'll walk in. No guys, just girls. And when I walk in every year, without a doubt, cocktail servers come up to me who don't know who I am. Girls come out of the other VIP sections, and they'll come up and they'll want to meet me because they see me with so many other girls. That's the first thing that happened. Here's the second thing that happens. All these females that you hang out with that you're just friends with, remember, you put them in the friend zone. They did not put you in the friend zone. All these women you're just friends with, what are they seeing? What's their experience? So they're watching you. You're not hitting on them. That's interesting. That's not what I'm used to. I'm used to being hit on by every guy. Okay, so he's not hitting on me. Then they see you. You're with this girl this week, this girl this week, this girl this week. It's like, okay, so other women find him attractive. They like being around him. And then they're watching your interactions because you become more calibrated around beautiful women. You make them laugh more. You're more charismatic. You're a better leader. You have a better speaking voice around women. So what's happened is she's hanging around you as a friend, and she's constantly being exposed to positive, masculine, attractive traits that you're displaying for her. You're displaying in general. You're not displaying them for her. You're displaying them in general, right? You keep displaying these positive, masculine, attractive traits, and then you're not hitting on her. Eventually, it gets to the point where it's like, yo, why is this guy not hitting on me? Like I want his attention. I'll do anything to get his attention. And so now these girls that you friend zoned, eventually, sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it takes 6 months, sometimes it takes a year. A good number of them then start becoming very attracted to you. There's further data on this. Lucy Hunt does a study back in 2015, I believe, where she looks at people getting together, how long it took before they started dating from the time that they met. So someone might have started dating, like met, and then a month later, that was the difference in time. Someone may have met, and then they started dating 9 months later, that was the difference in time. So they took the different number of months it took for the people to start dating and stratified them by that. And then they looked at the physical attractiveness of the two people in the relationship. They used a scale, I believe, from +3 to -3. And they had a bunch of people like rate the physical attractiveness of these people from, +3 to -3. What they found is the best way for you as a man to meet a girl and then immediately start dating her or sleeping with her when you first meet her is for you to also be very attractive. So attractive men had an advantage in the short term. In the medium term, so like 4 or 5 months, that attraction bonus was cut in half, and at 9 months, the attraction bonus was 0. What does that mean? It means these guys put the girls in a friend zone for a period of time. These women got to watch them date these women got to watch these men date other women. It generated attraction in them. And then down the line, that's when the guy who's the 5 is dating the girl who's a 10, because he's used social circle and female friends to take women from an unfamiliar environment, like dating apps or cold approach, where Chad is always going to beat you. Chad and Tyrone are always going to win in this arena, to a familiar environment where you get to display your leadership qualities, your networking qualities, your communication qualities, your charisma, and your humor. And so now you do better than Chad in these situations. So that's the reason why this strategy is so, I don't even want to say it's effective. This strategy is deadly. This strategy is nuclear. Like, it's incredible. Like this, I don't know that there really is another strategy at this point. This is create your own events, roll with a bunch of different girls, don't hit on any of them, and then just generate the attraction. And now we've just got, I think, 4,100 students gone through the course. All of them will tell you that this works. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials on our website, because this strategy works. And if you really try to think about it critically, you'll probably say, okay, that sounds like it probably would work. But a lot of people still don't like that, because they're stuck in this traditional mode of man chase woman, hit on woman, go do cold approach, hit on, hit on, hit on. That's what they do. And it's just a weird, it's a really weird situation that I still have to fight people on. Although I will say more and more people are coming to my side, coming to agree with me on this one.
Yeah, because it's hard to not agree with that when you see so much evidence,